Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Hope you guys and gals are having a good night. It's Sunday. We're doing a YouTube Live. I hope my audio doesn't suck like it does sometimes. It seems like 50% of the time it sucks and 50% of the time it doesn't. So I hope it's good tonight. Let me see here. Anyways, okay. Just let me know that you can hear me. I want to make sure. It seemed like last time I did this, I put it on the really low, the normal latency to where it's very delayed, but the quality is much better. So it seems to work much better when I do that. Boy, my monitor is filthy. We do need to get a band together. I was in a band when I was in high school. It was funny. The band's name was Flicker. And we did nothing but basically Metallica and Black Sabbath covers. Anyways, let's see here. Sounds great. And hey there, glad to see you. I'm glad to see you too. I have prepped. I did some work today to get ready for tonight because I wanted to jump right into it tonight. And what I've done so far is I have 2 more court cards left to finish BeoWulf. And boy, do I need to finish it because December is coming quickly. And I need to get it finished so that I can get it done and get it produced on time to get here by December. But anyways, I've got 2 more cards left. I have the Jack of Hearts. Let me check my spreadsheet. I've got the Jack of Hearts, and I've got the Jack of Clubs left. The character I'm doing tonight is, what is his name? All these Nordic names I can never pronounce correctly. His name is, he's the advisor to Hrothgar, Hrothgar. His name is Escher. It's spelled A-E-S-C-H-E-R-E. Hescher. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just know what part he plays in the story. He is the advisor to Hrothgar. Let me just change my thing over. And I have already drawn the base drawing to where I'm ready to start coloring. And I know I've done one of these where I drew it and then I started coloring, then I didn't really get to spend much time coloring. And so tonight I wanted to get right to it to where I wanted to get to it so I could show y'all guys the complete process of me drawing. Got some peeps here. Let me see here. I'll try to answer questions if I can, but you guys know that I get distracted really easily. So when I start drawing, let me see here. Okay. So I've got everything ready. I've got all my files set up. This is kind of each one of my suits has a working file, and this is kind of my working file. It doesn't have any of the accoutrements. And you'll see me in just a little bit. I work on this work file, and then when I'm finished, I'll pull it over here. This is kind of my master. This is my master court card file right here that I've got everything. That's King Higelac. But once I finish it, I will transport it over to this master file. So let's do it. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is, let's see here. The first thing I'm going to do, what I've done for these cards is I'll do my gold foil layer, which everything that is this gold foil, let me go back to this other card here. Everything that's yellow, like this artwork here, everything that's yellow will be gold foil. Let me try another card. So like her necklace, the hilt of this dagger, her crown and such. That's going to be all gold foil. Let me see the back design. Do I have the back design in here? Let me open the back design. Let me see your back, BeoWulf back design. See if this is the right one. Yes. So this is that back design that some of you guys, I think y'all guys saw me start this one a few weeks ago, but this is the back design. And you can see that everything that is yellow, everything that's kind of this gold color, will end up being gold foil, like my most recent decks. So, and you guys remember this arch and this X were all reminiscent of the stave churches, the Nordic stave churches. So that's kind of where the inspiration is. But again, everything that's gold and yellow will end up being gold foil in the end. So that's just some reference. All right, let's get back to it. All right, so I'm going to start with my gold foil layer. I'm just going to I'm going to trim it up here a little bit. I use this gold foil texture because I don't want it to just be straight gold foil showing through. I want to have some texture and ink print on the gold foil. Now, just for some background on this character, his name's like Eshar. I can't pronounce his name, but he's the advisor to King Hrothgar. And so that's why I kind of put a staff in his hand and a scroll, to metaphorically show like wisdom and advice, that kind of thing. Oh, Brad, bro, I am loving the foil that we're doing. And let me tell you, before we go any further, where is it at? Before we go any further, I'm just going to tell you people this. I'm going to look deep into your eyes right here. This is the new V2 legal tender with the new, we did the new process of printing the ink a little bit differently. And people, let me tell you, and I'm saying this because we're doing this with BeoWulf too. We've got it down. We've drastically, I'm going to get real close. We've drastically improved the handling. We changed our drying time of the cards. We've also changed up a little bit. The finishing process. And let me tell you, these cards, they came right out of the box, deliciously smooth. Let's see if I can do it. I never can do it when I'm on camera. Yep, perfect. There we go. But they handle great, much better than the first run. Nice and smooth right out of the box. And I'm very excited because BeoWulf, let me show you this. Because BeoWulf we're going to use the same methods of what we did on this one. And I'm telling you, bro, it's going to be, it's incredible. I'm just going to straight up and say it. I think this is the best deck. This V2 legal tender. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't usually say this. In fact, I've never said this. I think this is the greatest deck. I think this is the greatest deck ever printed so far. This legal tender version 2. It's nobody else has been able to do anything like this. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm super cocky about it because I love it. I'm so proud of it. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's get to it. All right, let's see. Foil. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to create me a mask here if I can see through my microphone, but I can't. I'm going to create me a mask, and then I'm going to go to my layer that has my drawing on it, which where'd it go? There it is. Nope. There we go. Oh, first I want to do this. I want to create a drop shadow on the wooden layer just because it's part of my process to create this kind of wood effect. But it's also how I go back and make selections as well. And if you see me squinting, it's because I have two bright lights that I'm not normally using when I'm drawing. Drop shadow. I don't really need it. I can't even really see it now. I can't really see it with the lights, but that's all right. Okay, we got that. Let's put that on multiply. Boom. I'm going to select it. No, I mean the legal tender that I mean after we, because the way we're printing these is kind of all new and nobody's really doing it, and we're kind of experimenting with it. And I've tweaked. Yes, they kind of were V2, so this is kind of like the V3. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get here. V2B. Yeah, that's good. All right. Let's see here. My mask. I got my selection ready. Now it's going to go and paint in everything that I want to be foil. Got my brush. This. Well, I don't need to do it on that side. I just need to do it on one side. This staff going to be gold. This staff is going to be gold. Here. Color that in. Just like that. Boom. Knock that in. This tips of this scroll is going to be gold. Going to be gold here. The scroll itself will not be gold. Like that. Oop, got a little outside the lines here. Okay. All right. All right. Let me see what else we're going to do. We're going to do this little clasp right here. We won't do that inside part. We'll make that like a different color, like a jewel or something. And then we'll do this collar piece. Like it's like gold fabric or something. Like that. There we go. And let's do this kind of square, like necklace chain collar thing he's got. Okay, good. All right, let's see. Nothing on his face. All that's going to be fabric. All right, let's make us a new. Let's go to the top, towards the top. Make us a new layer. Put it on multiply. I'm going to pick me a nice flesh color, kind of down the orange, red, some pinks. Boom. Got it on multiply. Let's color everything that's going to be flesh. Good. Good. So, as I'm drawing, I'll give you guys some updates on different stuff. We've got all kinds of stuff in the works. We should have the Robin Hood decks and the Arthurian decks, the new Arthurian decks. They were in the Long Beach port on the 21st. That was about a week ago. And so I am guessing that we will have those finally delivered in the next week. And we hope to release the remaining Robin Hood decks, the standard Robin Hood decks, hopefully by the end of the month, if we get them early enough. And if not by the end of the month, early November, October. Man, it's already October. Early October. We will also be releasing Arthurians, I think next month. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure next month, though. Arthurians. We got the plastic deck. We got the plastic Fed 50, the Federal 52 second editions coming. They're delicious. Let me see. What color do we want to make his hair? I've been finding that making these guys ginger-headed always seems to, with this kind of process, seems to pop the best. So we'll make this guy red-headed as well. As well. Oh, forgot his ear. I didn't color his ear. We've got the King's Wild. The King's Wild Tigers 2 that are almost finished. And they are delicious. The tuck case looks dope. The new tuck case looks great. It's going to go really well with the first 2 editions. Really pumped about that deck. Turned out really nice. It's going to be a good follow-up with those new Tiger Court cards as well. Got Deck the Halls, the new Deck the Halls coming. Let's give him some green eyes here. Right about there. Feeling good about that. Boom, boom. Missed a little spot on his head. All right. Let's see here. Let's do a... Check the questions here. I don't see anything. Let's do like a red... I've already done a red. Let's see. Let's do like a deep red sash. Heck yeah. I'll take free coffee anytime. I'm actually in the end of October. I am moving to Cleveland, which is just outside. It's like the first non-suburb of Chattanooga. I'm moving to Cleveland at the end of October. We finally found us. The house that we live in now is kind of we kind of moved in here knowing that it was kind of a stopgap. We just needed to get here for my health as quickly as possible. And so we got something, a little bit smaller just so we could get into it and have a place. And also all this, like the needs that I have for like a shop and a studio and all that kind of stuff makes it a little bit tougher to house shop. So we got here and we finally found us a house that has all the stuff that we need for like my shop, my wood shop, and all that kind of stuff that I have. And we move out. We close on that house the end of October, and we're moving out there end of October. I'm super pumped. I'm pumped about having my shop back, my wood shop, my metal shop. Super stoked. Have plenty of room to do my studio and all these lives and stuff. Gonna really. I'm pretty pumped up because we are planning. We're planning on starting to really expound on what we do for like the Wednesday weekly updates and stuff like that. And we're thinking about doing like a fun little, like a legit YouTube channel show type thing where we do all kinds of crazy stuff. Because I'm also moving the King's Wild HQ out here. It's not really anything really, really soon. The plan is for this time next year, to have the new HQ in Chattanooga. So if you are moving to Chattanooga or the Cleveland area and you'd like to apply for a job, just let me know because we got to hire new people. We're going to have some people come from Austin, but not quite sure. Still a long way away. But we got to do planning already, so. Let me see. Any questions? Let's see. I'm just painting this green here for his shirt. I know he looks a little Christmassy, but the complementary color of red is green, and that's why they look so good together. Let's see here. This needs to be green down here. Ba-ba-ba-ba-boo. Ba-ba. Let's see. His sleeve will need to be green here. Maybe we'll do like an olive green on his cuff or something. Okay. Thank you, John J., for answering the legal tender questions. Appreciate that. What? My brush. There we go. Oops. Okay, looking good. Some other news that you might want to know is I've been going back and forth about this ever since I started talking about it. I know a few weeks ago, it probably was a lot. Why is my thing not working? Oh, that's not the foil file. Let me go back to here. But I remember I announced earlier that I was doing something called, I was going to be getting rid of the subscriptions and I'm going to start doing something called the Number 13 Club. But you know what? Nothing is ever really set right with me about all of that. And I've been flip-flopping back and forth and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. First of all, I need to erase this because it's not showing up. And I'm honestly probably going to not stop doing the subscriptions. Well, Robinson, do you not know how to use Photoshop? Oh, here we go. I'm probably not going to stop doing the subscriptions. I may scale back the number of decks that I do in a year to like maybe, instead of doing like 12 decks a year, do like 6, just so I can spend a little bit more time on each deck. And also to have more time to do like Lord of the Rings and Mistborn, which Mistborn has come along nicely. We're with you. Thank you. All right, let me just bring that back a little bit. All right, so I got the base color in there. I got to scratch my leg because it itches. I got the base color in there. Now what I do is I knock in my first shadow layer. So I'm just going to take a tint of this brown here, maybe a little bit darker, a little bit more of a tint. There we go, multiply. And then I just really rough it in. It's going to be really, really hard in the beginning, but then I go back and finesse it a little bit. But I'm just knocking in the major shadow areas that there would be very roughly, like this. Bring down the opacity a smidge. There we go. Gonna have his shadow cast on from his chin. All that's gonna kind of be in shadow. Gonna come down here. It's nice and rough. Don't have to be too crazy about it being super tight because I'm going to come back and kind of blur it in just a little bit. But I'm just going to knock in the shadows here. And I don't want to do it too pronounced because it's still supposed to be carved in wood, and so I still want it to feel kind of flat, but at the same time I do want to give it a little bit of form. But it doesn't have to be anything really pronounced because I still want it to feel a little bit flat. Because it's supposed to be a wood relief carving or a relief sculpture or a relief carving in a piece of wood. Okay, gonna have a little shadow down here. Shadow right there. Good. Bottom of the scroll, gonna have a shadow. Right there. And this project has been a little bit more relaxing because, you know, all the drawings like are meant to look kind of crude and, you know, I don't want to say amateurish, but like crude and very brutish and elementary, just because of kind of like the idea that it was very, you know, I mean, this was like 600, 700, 800 AD, you know, and their art wasn't that high art realistic yet, so just kind of going in that vein. It's also a good excuse for my sucky drawing abilities. All right, so looks good. Just knock in a little bit more down here. Try not to, oops, wrong button. I need to hit the eraser button. All right, looking good. Need something right here in his armpit. Right there. Coming up right there. Good. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is, let me hit some on this hair right here. I'm going to take my my blur, my smudge tool. I got a kind of a custom smudge tool that I use. And I'm just going to come in here and lightly kind of blur these edges of these shadows to knock that kind of harshness back and to kind of blend it a little bit. They were beautiful. Their illuminated manuscripts were absolutely beautiful, but the figurative drawings in the illuminated manuscripts were still very, very crude in terms of form and figure. They were beautiful in execution and technical abilities for sure, but their figures were not. You weren't like doing like a realistic, photorealistic or whatever. Just knocking this back here a little bit. Blurring these edges. It always helps to do sound effects. Good. Looking good. Early portraits were very 2D. I mean, like a lot of the icon, like the Byzantine icon paintings, and very similar time period in these kind of the Celtic Book of the Kells was a very similar time period. All right, let me just check. Got a few more that I got to blur here. Okay, keep it nice and simple. Don't overwork it. All right, now I'm going to hit Control S. Now, once I've done a shadow pass, I will make a new layer, put it on overlay, go some white, and then I do my highlight pass, and I just paint in rough approximations of the highlights. And again, I'm not trying to, I want to do it quickly and not overwork anything and just block it in. And then I'll go back. Oops, I did not blur those parts. Let me do that right quick. Missed those right there. Okay, good. Just want to block it in. Okay, good. Nope. Gonna have some up here, there, up on his hands. Probably should do a little bit of modeling on the staff, just to give it a little bit more dimension. Let me go back to my shadow layer here. Just knock in some shadows on this staff here. Good, feel good about that. I need to paint the rest of that down there. Don't let me forget that, people. I need to paint the rest of that staff. Just blur, let me just blend this stuff here. Okay, now I can go back. Let me just go ahead and do that. Rest of that staff before I forget. Let me see here. Where is this at? Okay. Oops. Where's my foil layer? There it is. Bring you down here. Okay, good. That's where I want you. Mask. Fill mask. Brush. White. Wait. Why is it doing that? Oh, I know why it's doing that. Because I don't have a selection. Okay. Paint the rest of this staff. So when I rotate it and duplicate it, it's all there. Okay, let's go back up to, that's my, okay, there's my shadow layer. Add some more shadow right here. Underneath this. Down here. Okay. I just ruined that, didn't I? Took it all out. What are you talking about, squirrel? Shadow's correct. Light source is up here. It's over here. Light source is up on this top corner. But they didn't really abide by lighting directional sources. It's all going to be blurred anyways. Okay. Okay, kind of got it blocked in here. Hey Jackson, how long did it take you to do the Robin Hood set design? I don't know. I think it took me about probably 2.5 weeks of work for the Robin Hood stuff. I think so. Maybe 3. Those tuck cases took me a lot longer than I had originally expected. But the court cards were a lot of fun. The court cards actually went fairly quickly. Just blending these highlights in. Nice and subtle. And I'll end up desaturating everything a little bit too, so it'll kind of knock it back. And everything that's gold will be printed ink on top of foil, so it'll also act a little bit differently as well. Okay, good. I was always missing one of them. Good. Just check. See, I don't know why I missed these right here. I missed those shadows on this right here as well. I need to add something right here. Just a little bit of a tonal variation here. Here we go. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make another layer. Now I'm going to do another highlight layer, but instead of doing the large shape and form highlights, this is specifically for the wood grain, and this is going to be kind of like a very small bevel. A bevel on the wood itself where the design is supposed to be carved, and it will kind of accentuate the fact that these are carved. And my light source is coming up from my top right, and so all the edges I'm going to lightly hit some of these edges on the top right, and you'll see me come down. And that's just kind of me accentuating some of that wood grain. So I'm just going to lightly hit the top right edges. It's not going to be always, even if it's in shadow, I'm going to hit it a little bit, because theoretically all this is going to be a 2D relief. And so even these kind of ones that I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but it kind of serves to just, wrong one. Sell that kind of wood carving feel. I'm just quickly, and I'll end up going back and bringing down the opacity a little bit. So I'm just hitting all the top right edges. Now I could do this using like a filter, but it would automatically make it look very procedural, because everything would be, all the bevels would be exactly the same size and width, and it would start to look not hand-drawn or a hand feel to it. So that's why I'm kind of doing it all quickly by hand, to just give it that kind of, that still rough and not procedural. Because you could totally do this. Let me clean this foil up. I was rushing through this. Just clean this up here while I'm here. I'm zoomed out when I was doing this, and Wasn't paying attention. There's a few spots I left not colored in. All right, now I got to find that overlay level again. Is that it? Yes, that's it. Hide, Control H. What books? What all do you have planned for the book series? I think I'm doing Sherlock Holmes for January, a reprint of my Sherlock Holmes deck. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do Hamlet. I'm going to do the Iliad and the Odyssey. I know that's been done before, but I've been wanting to do that for a while. Let me blur this one. It's been done before, but I have a competitive spirit, and I want to do mine and destroy those that have come before me. I'm going to do the Iliad and the Odyssey. I'm going to do a lot of them. Let's see. I can't remember some of the I may do Dante's Inferno, but that's been done before, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. I may do something. I've always wanted to do Treasure Island, but as always, there's not enough female characters in Treasure Island to do it. I am going to do Last the Mohicans. I've always liked that story. I'm going to do Last the Mohicans. I can't remember some of the other ones. There's lots of them. The Iliad and the Odyssey will be 2 decks. You'll have an Iliad deck and an Odyssey deck. Okay, let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. And also, I could work this stuff to death at this level, but everything that you're seeing here is going to be very, very small. We're talking millimeters. Control S, it's going to be millimeters in size. Just kind of going back over it. So if I turn this on and off, you can kind of see what that little bit of a highlight does right there. Makes it pop a little bit. The Way of Kings. What's the Way of Kings? Oh, I had a license to do the Way of Kings first before I had Mistborn, but they ended up having another artist do the Way of Kings within a Kickstarter that Brandon Sanderson did, and I didn't really want to do that, so they asked me if I didn't want to do that because I had got the license first before the other artists, before they wanted to do the Kickstarter. And they asked me to do Mistborn instead. So I said, okay, that sounds good. I like Mistborn. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to do the same thing but opposite this time. I'm going to hit that opposite side with a little bit of a shadow bevel. And this is just going to help sell that kind of two-dimensional wood carving feel to it. Okay, good. Oh, wrong one. My buddy that I worked with years ago, who's the pencil artist. I'll show you guys in a little bit, but he's doing an incredible job with the Mistborn court cards, and he's actually going to ink them as well, which is going to be awesome. So the Mistborn deck will end up being more of a deck that, I mean, I'll do artwork on it. I'll do all the court cards. I mean, I'll do all like the index cards, the layout of all the court cards, that kind of thing. And I'll do the tuck cases, and I'll produce it. But it'll be more of a deck that I kind of art direct, and Greg and I collaborate on. But it'll be a King's Wild deck because I'm paying for it and hiring him. But he's doing an incredible job, and he's got one of the court cards that I can show you guys tonight probably. He does a engraving style that's similar to mine, but that he did like on the Star Wars toy packaging and stuff. The black series toy packaging for Hasbro, the Star Wars stuff, and it looks legit. It's nice. It's an engraving style, but it's very clean, like very surgical in like style. So it still fits with kind of the King's Wild kind of look and feel, but it's very recognizably different than my style. And I think it's going to be a really nice change up and nice addition to the King's Wild library of decks. It's going to be kind of similar to when I did the deck with Brendan Hong, the Hive deck years ago, where I kind of art direct it and kind of pay for it and all that kind of stuff. Because I have the license and everything, so it also allows me not to miss my window on my license with that, and it gives me time to focus as soon as we're done with BeoWulf for me to start on things like Lord of the Rings, which I'm super stoked about. I know this is probably really boring, but I'm almost finished. Pretty close to being done. The coloring doesn't really take that long. Let's see what we got over here. Can't wait to see the Mistborn style. I will show it to you. It's Oliver Twist. Oliver Twist is one of them. Gulliver's Travel, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, all those public domain things. All right, so I'm going to group these two, the beveling, so you can. I'm going to turn them on and off so you can kind of see what it does. So this is on, off, on, off. So it just gives a little bit of a dimensional pop, which is good. All right, let me just check. Let me look at some stuff here. Back up a little bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I need to get this foil layer, bring this up. How? Bring it up how? Okay. I'm going to group. What is this? That's my bevel. I'm going to group all this. Let me make sure I got the right stuff. I need to bevel. I forgot to bevel. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I'm going to duplicate this group. I'm going to, dang it. Okay, 1 second. Let me just fix something here. Okay. I can do it with this. Group. I'll rotate from the center point. That white is my original kind of very, very rough sketch. Okay. Obviously, it didn't rotate very well, so I just need to nudge it into spot. Perfect. Still a little bit off. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I like the Stormlight Archive stuff too. I do like that stuff. Now what I'm going to do is I've got let's see where to put it. I've got this layer here that's a wood texture that I took photos of and processed and all that kind of stuff. And I use this to kind of overlay on the top. And, well, first thing I need to do is take my color layer, and I need to age it a little bit because it's all too pristine right now. So now, once I've got the color in there, this is kind of, I do it like just an aging process. So I'm going to get me some of my special top secret brushes that I've made for these kind of things. Where is it? Okay. Let's want that one. And you probably can't see what I'm doing because it's very, very faint. It's too much. But I'm just kind of like, I'm adding like scratches and stuff into the design of the paint to just knock back the painted areas. And then I'm going to get this other one. Where's it at? Okay. Now this one is I'm just gonna lightly kind of tap this in different places, and that's gonna kind of make the paint. You can kind of see it like right in here. I can do it a lot to show you, like it makes the paint wear off kind of a thing, right there. But I'm just gonna like lightly tap it in certain areas, just to make the paint feel like it's kind of worn off the wood a little bit. Okay. Now you can see I've got little scratches and stuff in there. But, I mean, all that detail is not going to show up in the print, but it's there. So now this is that wood texture I was talking about, but I'm only going to pull it. I'm going to select my guy, and I'm going to pull it off that layer to where it's only on my guy. So now you can see if I can turn it on and off. And that wood grain texture kind of accentuates the wood grain texture that's underneath. So now I've kind of got everything looking like it is old, yada, yada, yada. Let me see here. Let me Control S. Now, I'll probably go back and clean this up a little bit, but I'll go ahead and show you what I do once I'm kind of finished with it. I'm just going to make a new, I'm going to duplicate it, I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to take the middle part of the court card. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to my master file. Here's my Jack of Hearts, and I'm just going to paste him right there in the middle. And he goes quite nice. There's my Jack, my Queen, my King. Yep. Looking good. Now, what I need to do is each one of these, I've got a layer underneath where I tell the foil where I want the foil to be to show through or to print. I'm not printing foil. It's not, you don't print foil this way. So I'm going to go back to my layer, my folder here. And I'm going to grab these foil layers. Move this to my other monitor over here. I'm going to grab these foil layers, bring them over here, and then I'm going to merge them. Now I've got a selection of just the areas that are going to be showing the foil. And this layer is kind of, this is how I show what I want to be foil and what I don't want to be foil. So I'm going to go to this layer and delete the white, and that'll tell the kind of the printers where the foil is and where it's not. So Control S. Okay, good. Wait for it to save. It's a big file. This is like 7-8 gigs, this master file, but it's got all my stuff on it. So I got the Queen of Hearts, the King Higelac. Let me see what else I got. That's the Ace of Spades. I got to do King of Spades is BeoWulf. I got to put him in there. There's Grendel's mother. Let's see. Clubs. There's what's his name? Wycliffe. I got to do the Jack of Clubs still. There's the Peace Weaver. I forgot what her name is. Is Heeged or something? I can't remember. They're all names that I can't pronounce. That's the one of the cowards. The Cupbearer. King Hrothgar. All right, anyways, let's see here. Let's go back. Let me open up my tuck case file here. so I can show you nice people. Let's go, where'd I put it? We're going to go BeoWulf tuck case. So this is very similar. This is very similar to the Robin Hood tuck case where its side opens like a book. And this is kind of the beginning of my whole kind of literature-based series where I want them to look like books. So this is the standard edition. The standard edition tuck case. So you've got all the old leather, everything that's kind of this gold will be gold foil. Then you've got this old English written in blood on the side of the book, and it says, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a "come on." I'm not gonna even try. But what it says is, it's talking about it's a excerpt from when Grendel, when all the Danes are asleep, the Geats and the Danes are asleep, and except Beowulf is still awake, and it's talking about when Grendel is coming in, and it talks about how he's like sleeking in the night in the shadows. And this is, here comes the walker of the night. And so you can kind of see, come on, ornit, skridan, skrondraginga. And it talks about the walker in the night comes. And so that's what that Old English is. So you'll have all this gold foil. And then I'm still working on the limited edition tuck case, but it's very similar to the way I did with Robin Hood. It's the same basis tuck case, and then it's kind of a little bit more elaborate. So it's the same design, but with like red leather added to it. And so this is kind of like the limited edition tuck case. And I still have like these kind of knotwork designs to do in this kind of empty space in the middle that'll all be foiled and embossed. And then, as you can see, the standard edition, it has kind of the book spine like the Robin Hood did. And then the limited edition has this kind of more open spine like the LTD Robin Hood did, because we'll end up putting the limited edition seal in this area here. Beowulf was going to be November's deck. It absolutely was going to be November's deck, but I've been saying this for a long time, that just because of COVID and all the schedule and everything, that we just weren't going to get, and I hadn't finished it yet because it was all custom, and we were too busy trying to catch up from all the COVID stuff that it just pushed it back. So Winter Solstice is going to be the November deck. And I've said this many times before, but the Beowulf is going to be December's deck. So there is the limited tuck case, and then the gilded tuck case will be similar to the Robin Hood gilded tuck case, where it's the book box. Let's see here. I think that's it of that. Let me open up something over here. I'll show you some of these Mistborn stuff. I need to be able to see this over here. What time is it? Look at that. Exactly an hour. It's kind of weird. Like, I've drawn so many playing cards that I just naturally fall into this. I naturally fall into this like rhythm to where no matter what I'm working on, no matter how detailed or not detailed, I've just like naturally fallen into this rhythm of like, I'll be finished in an hour with whatever I'm kind of working on at the moment. This is, let me see here. Let me download this. This is the character from Mistborn called well, I can't move it to my other monitor over here. There we go. his name is Rashik, but he's also known as the Lord Ruler, and he's kind of the main antagonist. But this is Rashik, the Lord Ruler, and he's pretty gnarly. He walks around with these spears through his body. It's really crazy. He walks around with these spears and all this metal that's through his body, like on these little bracelets down here. All this metal gives him like different powers. So he's pretty gnarly. This is Rashik. Then let me see here. I would like to show you guys my buddy's Greg, my buddy, his style. The way he does his inking. Well, if I could find it, there it is. This is my buddy. Just open this up here. Here we go. This is my buddy's inking style. This is very low res, but it's very, very tight and surgical. Where mine's like rough and kind of woodcutty. And we did that because we wanted this to look very different than the Lord of the Rings stuff. Let me see if I can find a higher res one. Pretty sure I got a higher res one. Yes, here's one. Let me download this puppy. Show and Finder. Open. Photoshop. There we go. Well, that's the same one. Sorry. But anyways, he just sent me a new one. Character called the Karak. And these are big guys. Almost like the Thing. No, it. No, the Thing from Fantastic Four. They're just like these big hulking creatures that have like their skin barely on them, and they have these huge like these sword type things. But there's one of the Karak. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. But anyways, let's see here. So anyways, so am I going to change from your inking style to his? For Mistborn, yes. Because I asked him to do one of these in his style because I like his style so much. And I'll show you some of his other stuff. And I've worked with him in the past before, and I love his stuff so much that I just wanted, and he did this for me just to give me an idea. This is some of Greg's stuff right here that Greg has done. He's really great at what he does as well. And I asked him to do one for me as a test, and I really liked it. And so we're just going to do it. And it's also fun for me to make sure I get to do that project, get to do the Mistborn project because I paid for the license and I don't want to not do it. And it's fun for me to be able to art direct it and work with somebody that I really like and I am inspired by. So I'm excited about that. Let me see here. Close this. Sweet. Oh, that's the Conservator? Yeah. Anyways, let me see here. Let me go back to where you get to see my whole face here. And let me take my hat off right quick. My head was falling asleep. So I'll do some questions. Let me get the chat. Let me get the chat window over here so I can see it. And I'll try to answer some questions. Let's see here. Let me see. What have I missed? Let me pop this chat bubble out here. Can I do that? Yes, pop out chat. Nice. That's what I want. I want it up here so I'm not looking down as much. So if you got any questions about anything, I'd be happy to ask them. or I won't ask them. I'll answer them or try to answer them. Were the Robinhood shipped yet, or is that still on hold currently? The Robinhood standards and limiteds should already be shipped. We're still waiting on the gilded Robinhood decks. But if you had a limited or standard, yes, they should have been shipped out by now. Whether or not you've got them or not, I don't know. Let's see. Will Mistborn deck have a book box version even though it's not classic literature? Yes. I'm going to be doing a book box version of Mistborn as well using this new kind of book box thing that I've been developing. So yes. It's going to be a little bit different though. We're going to do some new stuff on it. We're going to do some printing and foiling, which we haven't really done any printing yet on the book boxes. So it's going to be a thing where we print on it to accentuate the kind of the edges and the wearing and stuff. So it's going to be really cool. Can I reveal any sales plans for the holiday sales? At this point, our sales plans this year has been so whacked up in terms of schedule and deliveries that we had kind of a plan and a schedule early on this year, but when COVID stuff happened and all the delays and everything, it really just threw all that stuff out the window. And so we're basically, our hope is to release things. We are going to have things, the things that you can probably count on for the holidays. Like, and when I say holidays, I'm talking like Black Friday, November, Black Friday, mainly in Black Friday, into the holidays. What you can count on is the new legal tenders will be released, the ones that we've kind of upped the printing on. However, one thing with legal tender that it's going to be released, we will have we're having a kind of a, we made 800 gilded, holographic gilded legal tenders that are in this new book box that I have, and it's really cool. It's like a charcoal gray box, and then instead of gold gilding on the book box edges, it's like holographic, and on the inside, it's like a charcoal gray black. It's going to look really good. So we'll have 800 of these holographic gilded legal tenders in this book box, and then we're making 200 gold gilded legal tenders in this book box. So that's going to be for Black Friday. We're also going to have the King's Wild Tigers 2, the ones with the two-way Tiger Court cards. And if all goes well, the plan is we're going to have the standard decks. We're going to have the standard editions of the Tigers, for sure, the new Tigers. But if all goes well and production happens, we are also going to have a new matchbox, a new limited edition matchbox with the sandpaper on the side and that kind of stuff with the new Tigers. And we're going to have I think we're going to have 1,000 of those. Justice, no, those gilded legal tenders are not the ones that we pre-ordered a few weeks ago. Those are different ones. Those that we pre-ordered were in those hand-signed tuck cases. Let's see here. No, they are not the same as the 800. Those 800s are not the same as those legal tenders that we pre-ordered a couple of weeks ago, because these have the book box and everything in them. I mean, they're in the book box. Let's see. How do the subscriptions work? Pretty simple. You pay a monthly subscription right now, and you get a new deck every month, a new thematic deck every month. Let's see here. I know Overbite was put on the back burner. Will there be a Halloween deck of some sorts? Yes, the Halloween deck is the new Haunted Eights. The subscription deck for next month is the new Haunted Eights. And let me see. I've got some pictures of it. It looks good. It looks real good. Let me find them. Copy image. Let me just move this over here. Move this back over here. Move my chat over here again. Let me share my screen. All right, where'd I put it? I just had it. There it is. Copy, image, new, paste. This is a rough version, a very bad picture of the standard edition tuck case. Let's see here. It's embossed. The first one didn't have an embossing. This has lots of foil, which looks delicious. This is the... Granted, these are horrible images, so take it with a grain of salt. This is the limited edition tuck case that's got all black with the red blood X and silver foiling on it. And then the gilded edition is the book box, but it's black with black foiling, gold gilded edges. And I think we're going to splatter red paint on it to simulate blood. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And here is the back. The back with the silver foiling of the new Haunted 8s. Right there. Looks real good. It's going to be really nice. All the wrought iron is now kind of like a dulled silver foil on the big gate door or whatever you want to call that. So, anyways. All right. Let me bring you guys back up so I can answer your questions. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I lost you. There you are. I see you. Are you getting apple pie soon? No, you're not getting apple pie soon. We are making it, but you're not getting it soon. There's no reason for me to lie to you about it. No, it's not coming out anytime soon. It's not a yearly release. It was supposed to be more than that. It was supposed to be more kind of like it was supposed to be kind of a quarterly release in the beginning. But like I said, man, we are just now coming up back to even keel a little bit from all the COVID stuff. But we hope to, we hope to get the apple pie stuff going back again as well. Can you expect Deck the Halls this year? Absolutely. You can expect Deck the Halls. In fact, I think I did that. I think there was a time lapse of the back design on my Instagram. So we got a new back design, and before it was red, white, green colors and red, white, green thread colors on the tuck case. So this year it's red, white, and green, and we've added gold. We've added a metallic gold thread to the tuck case, the embroidered tuck, the embroidered, whatever you want to call it, not crocheted, the embroidered tuck case. And also we have added gold foil thread into the design of the back design as well. So I think we are printing, I want to say 3,000 Deck the Halls decks. And I think we're gilding, going to do, it's either a red or a gold gilding. I can't remember how many, like 500. I can't remember how many we're doing. But yes, you'll definitely see Deck the Halls again for sure. John J. asks, Lord of the Rings, any rough idea yet of release? Early 2021, that's going to be a big one. Yes, early 2021 is, early spring of 2021 is when we hope to do Lord of the Rings. there is a very real possibility of us doing some kind of, because I'm not doing Kickstarter for both Mistborn or Lord of the Rings, because I don't want to do Kickstarter. It's not worth the headache. There is a real possibility of us doing kind of our own pre-order fundraising Kickstarter, whatever you want to call it, our own pre-order thing of Mistborn in November. That could be another big thing that we do. But that, I know that we're going to be able to get the artwork done. But the big question for that, the big kind of yes or no question for that is going to be whether or not, A, we get the artwork done, and B, we get everything approved by Brandon Sanderson and all that camp, so that we have time to do it in November. And if it pushes into December, we probably will just wait until January or February to do the pre-order or something for the Mistborn stuff. So I'm hoping we get to pull that off, because that'd be fun. Let's see here. See if there's any other questions. I know what I need to show you guys. Do you guys want to see? Oh, here we go. I'm not going to do a Kickstarter. I'm going to just do it on my own website. I'm just going to self-produce it. What I'm going to show you is, so I've been talking a lot about it, the Kingswild threads. Those are coming out. For those decks, will there be deluxe versions? Absolutely, there will be deluxe versions. You can count on deluxe versions for both Mistborn and Lord of the Rings. I've been talking a lot about Kingswild threads. That's the new kind of apparel line that I'm creating. And I've got the first three shirts are coming out very, very soon. We should get those any time now. And then I just finished my next three. I just finished my second three shirt patterns for the second three shirts. And let me tell you, I am super stoked about this. Let's see here. I wanted to open up and show you where'd it go. Just had it. Where am I at? Desktop. There it is. So these are my next three patterns for the Kingswild thread shirts. One of the things I'm trying to do is just really prick the pins of nostalgia for people. And this first design, this first pattern is like these dinosaur patterns. I used to have some sheets kind of like this when I was a kid, but the first one is this dinosaur pattern, and then the second one is a knockback to the VHS deck that I did, and these are all VHS cassette tapes that I've kind of, obviously this is low res because I just did a screen grab, but everything is like Kingswild Project, there's the VHS 1982, there's a little Kingswild sticker that's slipped in there, there's silver number 13, so everything is kind of Kingswild Project. There's another one, there's VHS 1982, and then here's the third t-shirt, the third shirt pattern, which is, I also had some sheets like this when I was a kid, kind of a vintage cowboy, 50s cowboy. Oh, you can't see my screen. I'm so stupid. Sorry, people. Here we go. I'm sorry. Forgive me. So here's the first. I'll go back. This is the first one here. Yes, I'm trying to show you, but I'm an idiot and I can't do it. I'm sorry. This is the first design here. This is the dino design where I had some sheets like this when I was a kid. I know, I didn't push the button. I'm sorry. But this is the dinosaur pattern. I kind of had this when I was a kid, something similar to this. Obviously, this is stuff that I've redrawn. This is the dino. I call this the dino. And then the second one is, like I said, I'm trying to be nostalgic with a lot of stuff. And so this second one is all these VHS cassette tapes stacked on each other, and all of them are King's Wild themes, like VHS 1982. There's KWP, number 13, VHS 1982, King's Wild Project. There's the little Easter egg sticker in there. There's the number 13, all kinds of goodies. And then the third one is kind of a nostalgic cowboy. I also had some sheets like this when I was a kid. I had some flannel cowboy sheets kind of like this. And as you can see, you've got the little playing card pips in there. The brand on this horse over here is KWP. So, and you got a Sharps rifle, you got the Colt Peacemaker, and you got the Colt Navy revolver as well. I didn't put the Knight Rider VHS cassette tape in there. I didn't put that in there. So this is going to be the second wave of shirts, and the hope is, if everybody likes the first three that I'm doing, the hope is that these will be the second three that we release at the holidays. So the first three will be as soon as we kind of get them, which should be in the next couple of weeks. We're going to release them. And then these three will be around October. Let me see here. I'll show you something else. Of course, the question is, if I want to show you something, and the answer is yes. I'll show you this. It will be really cool. Boom, 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 boom. So, excuse me. I apologize. Oops, I think my Illustrator just crashed. Yep. I'm trying to open a file and it crashed on me. So we mentioned this in the most recent Wednesday weekly update video. But with every t-shirt design, with every shirt, our plan is to release we're going to print 150 decks with that shirt pattern on the back of the deck. And let me tell you, and I wanted to do something with the tuck case where they were kind of all the same and standardized, but then you could tell the difference in the tuck case and you could be able to tell what shirt it was for. And so I had this idea of printing these really nice paper, like cotton paper tuck cases that were white, that had like a basic copy on the bottom. And then my original idea was to create these long kind of like Equinox style seals where it was long and rectangle, and then on the seal was just the pattern of whatever shirt that we released with it. And so I was drinking coffee with my wife on the porch, because we do that every morning, and when I kind of give her my ideas, and I was telling her about this idea of like, okay, I've got this white tuck case, and I'm going to do these, these seals with the shirt pattern on it. And my wife has some really good ideas, and she's been having some really good ideas as of late. And she goes, I have a better idea, and this is going to blow your mind. And I said, hit me with it. She said, you should ditch the seal and in your white tuck case, die cut a hole that's in the shape of one of your shirts. That way, when the deck is inside the box, the back design of the pattern of the shirt shows through the die cut hole of the shirt. And so you have these white decks that are all the very standard and the same, but then every shirt hole has the pattern of the shirt that it's for. And I was like, that's awesome. Way better than my idea. And so this is the tuck case for the shirt decks. So you're going to have, it's going to be a basic white tuck case. Now, when I say basic white, I'm not talking like crappy, glossy white paper. I'm talking like the same nice paper that Clove Street letterpresses a lot of my tuck cases on. So it's going to be nice paper. And then this design here is going to be on the back of the tuck case. And this is the design that the woven thread, the woven inner tag that's sewn in right here on the shirt in the back. It's the same as the woven tag that's in the back. Then you'll have your basic ad copy on the bottom. Then you've got your die cut hole of the shirt, which will have the pattern inside. Let me see. I guess I could probably give you an idea of what that might look like. Let's see here. Let me open up one of these patterns. Let's see, Dropbox. Where is it at? Boom. King's Wild. Got to find the folder. There it is. LTD shirts, shirt patterns. Let's do the. Is that a? Okay, here we go. Is that a JPEG? Yes. So here's the Fox shirt. This is one of the first 3 designs. The Tally-Ho, the Scarlet Tally-Ho Joker. So I'm going to take this, kind of show you what I'm talking about here. It's a little big. Oops. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. I'll just duplicate it because it's a pattern. Let me group these bad boys. Cut. Paste this on the bottom. And then let me duplicate this shirt. Paste that on top. Reverse it. Oops. Reverse that. Boom. Object. Clipping mask. Make. Boom. So you can kind of think this will be a die cut hole, and then you'll see the back design. That's the pattern of the shirt that the deck is for, coming through the little die cut hole. And that'll be the same for all the different shirt designs. So you got the dinosaurs, the cowboy, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to make 150 of these decks. So each run will have 150 of these decks that go with the shirt. Now, a lot of people have already asked us, does the deck come with the shirt? And can you buy the shirt without the deck? The answer is yes to both. You're going to be able to buy the deck by itself, but you're also going to be able to buy the deck with a shirt. And I think we're going to print 150 shirts and 150 decks, and we're going to have 50 of them that we sell as a set. That you'll obviously get a discount on both items, the shirt and the deck, if you buy both. Because obviously, that's what we want to do. We want you to buy both because that makes more money. But you get a discount, and I think it's going to be. The shirts are pretty expensive because they're really expensive to make because they have like custom buttons, 3 different custom tags, custom patterns. And a lot of people in this industry that make these kind of shirts, they'll sell their shirts for like $60, $65 to $72, which is a little bit much. Our shirts are going to be $52. They're going to be $52, and the decks, I think the decks are going to be $20, $25. But if you buy the shirts and the deck together, it's going to be $65 for both the deck and the shirt. So obviously that's going to be, so you get you get a low run limited edition deck with a limited edition shirt for this. So you obviously get the deal if you get both, but we're only going to have, you see what I did there for 52? You like that? So you get the deck and the shirt for 65 or 62. I don't remember. We haven't quite done all the numbers. And it's pretty cool too. We got really cool hang tags, and even though you cut those off, but we have these really nice custom zipper bags. These kind of like poly zipper bags, has the King's Wild logo on it. I wanted these to be really nice. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I didn't want it to just be a random screen printed t-shirt. So I wanted to make them nice, and so I spent little more time, a little more money on the production. So I'm really proud of them, and they're going to be really great. But I hope to have those. What size are they coming in? We have got. We're gonna have small, medium, large, extra large, double extra large, and I think. I'm not 100% sure, and I apologize if we don't, but I think that we have triple X. I'm not sure though, but I know we have small through double X, 100% sure. And let's see, and all the other ones. We have talked about doing some kind of shirt subscription for them, but that still is where we do like a shirt. We were thinking about doing. We may still do it. I don't know. It really depends on when we get the decks. It really depends on when we get the decks. If we do it, because the decks themselves that went with them were kind of a later idea, and we're trying to play catch up now, and hopefully we get the decks in time to do the shirts. But we have talked about doing a shirt subscription for the 50 slots that you get the deck and the shirt together for the 65. Any button-free versions with collar? No, I don't. And here's the why. I don't like pullover polos, or is that what you call them? Polos? I don't like polo shirts. I'm sorry if you like polo shirts. Totally okay. I totally support you in your polo shirt wearing endeavors. And I just don't make things that I don't like, so that I wouldn't wear myself. And I love these button-down shirts. They're super comfortable. But no, I don't have any buttonless. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have to button it, and you can just go ahead and wear them with your chest out. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. Let's see. Now, Justin, you said that would be a great idea, so we could have consistent edition numbers. The only thing that the edition numbers will be on are the decks themselves. The decks. The shirts won't necessarily have edition numbers. Doesn't really work that way. I guess we could put edition numbers on it, but I didn't want to really limit myself up front with this whole new endeavor. And so I didn't want to like fully commit to the idea of like, this is the only time we're printing these shirts. They're definitely short runs, and hopefully people like them, and hopefully that they're successful, because I want to keep making them. But if they fall flat and are not successful, you can definitely be assured that they will be limited edition one-run prints of these shirts. But yes, if we do a subscription, you got me thinking about it. But if we do a shirt subscription, you can have all this, lock in your subscription numbers. Yes, the decks. I meant the decks on the things. Oh, and look at this you have the little shirt on the tongue, letter pressed on there. And Clove Street is already making these tuck cases for me. I should do a shirt deck coffee combo. I should. That would be fun. I don't know. That is a good idea. That sounds fun. Accidental limited, nice. Yeah, it's a new thing. It's an accidental limited edition. What time is it? 10:34? Okay. I'll take some more questions. You guys seem you're in good spirits. I'll continue to answer questions as you ask them. You still need to try my coffee. You do. I'll make another one of these mock-ups here. Let's do the cowboy. Let's do the cowboy design. Where did it go? Where's my illustrator? We'll mock it up right quick while we're talking. I will show you this other design. It's not going to be in the holiday release, but I already made the design. But it is a, where's it at? What did I call that? Oh yeah. I did research and I found a lot of old pirate flags. Well, dang it. Let me open it up in Photoshop. I found a bunch of old pirate flags because I love pirates. Let me see here. And I made a pattern, a shirt pattern. It would be a good Halloween shirt, but I don't have time to make it for Halloween. But I found all these cool shirt. I can't talk. Where did I put it? There it is. Historic pirate flags. And this is the pattern for that. So it's all these historic pirate flags. And this is the pattern. I can show you the pattern here. Let's see. Select all. Edit. Define pattern. Crop. I always just say what I'm doing. Let's go edit. Oops. Fill. Pattern. Boom. There we go. So that's the historic pirate flag shirt. I don't know when this is going to come out. This is probably like the third wave of decks. Not decks, third wave of shirts. Nope. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see what the questions are here. Have you used it in an espresso machine yet? How does it do? Are the beans drier or more oily? First off, if we're just going to talk about coffee, because I might as well be a coffee snob. If your beans are oily, that means they're over roasted and burnt. Just saying. Your beans should not be oily. Your beans should be nice and dry. That means they were roasted correctly. And I only use my Kingswild coffee beans in an espresso machine. I only make espresso and lattes for my wife. So they do good. Let's see here. I actually have an Ethiopian blend that I've been roasting, but I haven't put on the website yet because I keep drinking it myself. And I just haven't got around to putting it on the website. Let's see here. Hey, Jackson, do you remember how many VHS 1982 gilded proof decks you produced? No. If it was a gilded proof deck, we always gild about 25 extra anytime we do gilding. And so it's most likely under 50 for sure. But it could be anywhere from like 25 to 50 that we made, because we usually do 25 or so extra every time we gild. I've also used my coffee in a drip pot as well. Yes, don't forget, guys, these will make great gifts for you and your friends and family. That is correct. Thank you, Soderman82, for the plug. Chris Bussey, what is up, dude? It's so nice to see your name on here. Chris Bussey was the GM of the game studio that I worked for in California. It sure is nice to see. I'm going to show Chris Bussey these shirt designs. He's going to like these. These are my second wave of Kingswild thread shirts patterns. The old vintage Dino, the VHS 1982 pattern, and the old flannel cowboy. Those are for my second wave of Kingswild thread shirts, which the first wave we should have, man, I would say in the next week or so. Let's see here. Answer some more questions. Since we're going full coffee nerd, let's go full coffee nerd. What kind of espresso machine do you have, bro? See, I wish I could afford a really nice espresso machine, but I just have a Breville, whatever it is. And here's this thing. I kind of say the same thing about coffee as I do with like bourbon. Like, you could be a nerd and a hoity-toity person about coffee or bourbon, all that kind of stuff. But if you like it, you like it. And don't let anybody knock it if you like it. Drink what you enjoy. And so I've gotten really good at making espresso on my little espresso machine that I have, and I really enjoy it. So I got a little Breville espresso machine. It's manual. It's not automatic, so it's not one of those kind of automatic things. So definitely not that. But I'm really excited about these shirt decks. Oh yeah, I think I was gonna mock up. So anybody that's just coming on, I'll show you the BeoWulf tuck cases. So this is the standard BeoWulf tuck case here. You've got the vintage aged book look, and then the Old English written in blood on the pages. Come on, oh crap. Let me rotate it here. Come on, oranri niche skradin. I can't pronounce it, but it means the walker in the night comes. But it's talking about Grendel, when Grendel is coming into Heorot Hall for the first time, and when BeoWulf meets him. So this is the standard tuck case, and then this is the limited edition tuck case. I still have some things to do in this kind of blank area here. I still have some like gold foil designs to do here. In this kind of open area, I'm doing some more knot work in foil, but this is the limited edition tuck case. And let's see here. Oops. Where's my layers? Layers. That's King Hegel. That's King Hrothgar. Where's the Ace of Spades? Let's show the Ace of Spades. One of the cool things about the Queens, in the original text of BeoWulf, the female characters, which I was very thankful that there were enough female characters to do queens, but the female characters were very metaphorical, and they played a very metaphorical, I don't know if that's the right word, they played a very specific role, not as much as a specific character or a person. They played more of a metaphorical role in the story. And there were two queens, two females that they would refer to them as, they would call them like peace weavers or cup bearers. And so you've got Hrothgar's wife, queen, it's W something, I can't pronounce it. Hrothgar's wife, and this character, this queen, I think hers like Hegd or something. But they were both considered, their role in the story, the narrative, were called peace weavers or cup bearers. And so this character, she was one of the peace weavers, and the purpose of their character, they were bringing the different tribes, the Geats and the Danes, and the Skilians, or I can't remember the other tribe, but they were like bridge the gap between the tribes and bring them together. They were peace weavers, and they brought the tribes together. And then the other two queens, Grendel and another queen, they were like the antithesis, if that's the right word, of the peace weavers. They were like the terrors, the antagonists. And so you have Grendel's mother, and then you've got another queen. The second queen, she goes through like her character arc kind of goes through a transformation, and I'll show you her court card. But for this one, she's a peace weaver, and so that's why she's on the loom. And then the other one, Hrothgar's wife, she is a cupbearer, and her place, that's Grindel's mom. Let me go back. Let's see here. That's the other one. Where is she at? Okay, clubs, diamonds. Okay, so this is Hrothgar's wife, and she's the cupbearer. So you've got the Peace Weaver and the cupbearer. And her specific role, she's bringing the tribes, the Geats and the Danes together. And she does that in the Harrod Hall. She walks around with a big cup, bearing a cup for all of the Geats and the Danes to bring them together. And so that's kind of what she is. And she's the cupbearer. And then you've got the other queen. That's the clubs, hearts. So that's Hygelac. So this queen, she plays an interesting role. In the beginning, she's very wretched, and that's why she has a dagger in one hand. And then towards the end of the narrative, she grows through a lot of crap. And towards the end of the narrative, she ends up going from being the metaphorical tearing the tribes apart. She goes from being that. By the end of the story, she becomes kind of a peace weaver in the end, and she ends up realizing, and her character changes towards the end, and that's why she has the olive branch in the other hand. So you've got the dagger to represent her kind of evil character in the beginning, and then you've got the peaceful character in the end. And then obviously Grindel's mother, she's bad the whole time until she gets whacked. So she's never a peace weaver. Am I guessing? No, I'm not guessing. You think I'm gonna do some research? Are you guessing? That's it. Let's see. Now, obviously, it's me doing my research. So if you want to learn more, I would suggest you do your own research. Let's see here. Let me go back here. Is there a Fulton Collab coming? Absolutely a Fulton Collab coming. No, I can't show you anything from the Fulton Collab. Sorry, but it's awesome. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me go back up while I was chit-chatting. Here's my thing. The original, you should totally read BeoWulf. However, the original Old English version is super hard to read because it's Old English, and it's all in kind of prose form. What I would suggest, a good place to start, in my opinion, is find a good translation of BeoWulf. And of course, I love Lord of the Rings. I love Tolkien. Tolkien has a good translation of BeoWulf. Also, if you know who Julian Glover is, let me see here. Julian Glover, he's the guy in Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's that bad guy that's kind of like paying for Indiana Jones's expedition to find the Ark, and he's the guy that chooses poorly, in the Grail scene where they're choosing, and the old guy goes, "You have chosen poorly," and he basically melts. That's Julian Glover. This book here, it's not a book. This is a play, a one-man play that guy Julian Glover wrote, and he toured doing this monologue play, and it is incredible. And to get a taste of this, what you should do is go to YouTube. Well, you're at YouTube now. After you're finished watching the video, you should YouTube Julian Glover BeoWulf, and he does an excerpt from this from his monologue play that I think is incredible. It was actually I watched it. I watched the monologue and also read the print version of that play. It's not really a play; it's just a monologue. It's basically it's another kind of translation that Julian Glover did, and that translation is what made me want to do this deck, because I mean I had read can't even speak. I had read BeoWulf before, but it wasn't until I heard that translation and Julian Glover speaking it, because he does a really good job, especially in that YouTube video. It was like in the 80s. Really good. You should totally see it. Got me riled up, but I get riled up really easily. Let me see here. What is this? A gilded 15 of 16 limited deck, 6'5", was just sold on eBay for a whopping $910. I can believe that. Those are super rare. Your thoughts about creating such incredibly desirable decks? I would hope they're incredibly desirable. If I didn't create incredibly, well, my hope would be that my decks are incredibly desirable. Because if they weren't incredibly desirable, I don't feel like that I could be able to continue to do it as a living. So that is my hope. Let's see here. Yeah, Tolkien has a really good translation of BeoWulf. And you got to realize that BeoWulf, the story of BeoWulf, is the biggest influence in Tolkien's writing. I mean, basically, The Hobbit is BeoWulf. There's a dragon. There is a slave that wanders into the dragon's den that has a treasure trove and steals something from the dragon. The dragon gets pissed. The dragon flies out of his cave, burns the city, and the hero, BeoWulf, kills the dragon with the chink in the armor of the dragon. I mean, it's basically The Hobbit. And Tolkien, I mean, Tolkien's main inspirations in the beginning was Old English BeoWulf stories. It's just gibberish for the most part, yes. I keep forgetting that all the texts are incredibly delayed because I'm very delayed here. I will take a few more questions, but this is almost 2 hours, but that's okay. It's almost 11 o'clock my time, but I'll keep asking. I'll answer a few more questions. I'm excited that BeoWulf is almost finished. It's been a super long year. And this is kind of my last. I'm on my last card now. I have one more card left on BeoWulf. This is my second to last that I did tonight. But I will be finished. Once I'm finished with this last card, I got to do a few more tweaks. But I'll basically be finished for this year's subscription decks, and I'll be able to start on next year's subscription decks, and also Mistborn and Lord of the Rings, which I'm super excited about. But it's been a good year. It's been a tough year, for sure. It's been a good year for business. Even all this really crap that's been going on, you know, I've been blessed that Kingswald has definitely been able to grow this year. Any tease on the winter solstice? Let me see if I can. I bet I could tease something. And I know the answer is always yes. It's going to be... Here's the thing. But will this deck also have a hidden squirrel? No, this deck will not have a hidden squirrel. Only Robin Hood had the hidden squirrel. And that's for only the people that were there for that one specific live. So I'm going to preface this. I'll show you the winter solstice back design and maybe a couple of cards. But I have to preface it with this. What I'm going to show you is going to look very plain, but it is almost impossible to show you. It's basically impossible for me to show you how it's going to finally be when it has the foil with it, because like Legal Tender, like Robin Hood, like BeoWulf, we're doing this kind of foil process that nobody else is really doing. With winter solstice, we've taken it to I'm not saying like a better level because they're all really good. We're just doing something that's even more different. So we're doing a different thing with the foil that is awesome. So it's going to be great. Let me see here. Let me open the file up here. And I'll try to explain what I'm showing you as I itch my neck. All right, where is it at? Where's my folders? Too many folders. Kingswald Shorts. Winter Solstice. Your deck list shows the Solstice as your December deck, but you are also talking about Sweater V2. That is the list, the master list may be a little bit outdated. The November deck is Winter Solstice, and the December deck is BeoWulf, and we're also making Deck the Halls for Christmas, but it's not a subscription deck. All right, let's see here. Master file, okay. Make sure that this is the right file. Yes, okay. So the Winter Solstice deck, if you remember the Equinox decks and the Solstice deck before, they're all based on a hexagonal pattern that's tessellated on the back design. I have a foil invocation deck. It's called the Platinum Edition that was printed by Cartamundi. Where did my thing go? There it is. But, it's not liking me. Let me share my screen. So this is the back design for the Winter Solstice. Now, I'm trying to explain to you. I'm going to turn off this layer, this foil layer. Wow, what is wrong with my computer? There we go. So everything that's red, is going to be silver holographic foil showing through the design. And the white is going to be opaque white ink. Okay? So that's that. I'm going to turn back on the holographic foil. So this is kind of an interpretation concept of what it might look like. So you've got now I could stop at this. So this is the holographic foil design showing through. Now that's kind of where that's what we've done up until this point with the other decks. Now something that we haven't done that I'm going to add is you'll notice when I add this layer, you can't really tell. I can turn off this and we show the red. Okay, now when you have it, so you have to imagine it, everything that's red is holographic foil showing through. And as you can see, the holographic foil, it's so hard to explain. From the top and the bottom, the red fades to kind of that blue-white color. And what that means is the holographic foil will be showing through in this intricate design, but as it goes to the middle, the holographic foil will become less and less visible. By the time it gets to the middle, it will fade completely out, and it'll be completely, you'll still be able to see the holographic foil, but it'll go from really shiny to 100% exposed holographic foil, and then it'll fade to kind of like this blue tinted holographic foil and less opaque and more matte. And that's the thing that we haven't done before is we've got a very intricate foil design, but then on top of that, it fades from 100% exposed foil to matte foil, which is going to be incredible. And I'll show you one of the court cards. Let's see here. I don't know if I've got it set up correctly. Yeah, I can do this here. So here's the King of Spades. I'm going to turn off the holographic foil layer so you can see it. So everything that's red is going to be holographic foil in the background. And so I can turn it back on now. And these are the same court cards that the Equinox and other Solstice deck had. And you can see that these patterns in this area are what change from deck to deck. The patterns that are inside this area are whatever hexagonal tessellating pattern that's on the back design. So I'll turn the holographic layer off again so you can see everything that's red is going to be holographic foil showing through. And you can see that the indexes have a little pinstripe around them of holographic foil, this, that, and the other. Now, another cool thing is, let me show you the aces. The aces are dope, to use a technical term, dope. So here's the ace of spades. Let me turn this. Let's see here. Now, you can barely see it, but if you zoom in, you can see that you can see the holographic design in here. I'll turn off the holographic layer so it's red, and it's really just there for representational purposes. So everything that is red is holographic foil, and that same effect we're doing in the background. So where you see this fully saturated red, like in the Solstice type, and then also in the rim of the ace or the spade, it's fully exposed foil. And then here, this lighter red is going to be more matte foil, but you'll still be able to see it. And then it's going to completely fade off into white, into the white of the card, to where the foil completely fades away and you can't see anything. I've never seen that done before. Never seen anybody do that on playing cards before. So I'm super excited about that. I think that's about it. Let's see here. There you go. There's the King of Hearts. Everything that's red is the holographic foil. I'll turn it back on so you can kind of see it. Anyways, that's the winter solstice. All right. I think that's about it for me, peeps. I appreciate your time. To about 2 hours. I appreciate your time hanging out with me and asking questions. It's good to see old faces. Well, not really see old faces. It's good to see old names. Anyways, I think that's about it. Be on the lookout. It's been kind of a sleepy month of September, just because we've been kind of getting ready for the holidays. But just be ready, because we are going to be releasing the Robin Hood Standards decks that we're going to be getting in. We're going to be releasing Arthurian soon. And we have I think 7 or 8 decks, new decks. Some new decks that we're releasing between now and the Black Friday, whatever. So be ready. It's going to be fun. I hope you guys have a wonderful week coming up, and I guess I'll see you guys on the Wednesday weekly update. It's about to get hot and heavy. That is correct. Anyways, you guys, thanks again. I'll see you guys. Be safe. Have a great week. Take it easy. And then there's always this awkward pause when I find the red stop button. Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.